Hi, I'm Rabbi Avram Golder, and welcome to RememberYourLearning.com. Today I want to focus on an issue of Chazorah to show you how powerful Chazorah can be to your advantage. You know, every once in a while I hear someone talk about people doing a tremendous amount of Chazorah. You know, this Rav chazur 7 blot on Shabbos, this one does 10, 15, 20. I've heard up to 40 recently, 40 blot on one day. You know, these people feel like, they sound like, superheroes. They're like the giants in our midst. They just have incredible power of mind power and discipline, and we marvel at them, but we're very far away from them. And I want to suggest that it may be that we're really not as far away from that type of accomplishment than we think. So I want to share a rule, what I call the 10% rule. This is my first in a series called Mastery Economics 101. How powerful mastery, how efficient our learning can be when we incorporate mastery into it. So I have what's called the 10% rule. The 10% rule is that whatever amount of time it takes you to learn something, to get it clear, it takes on average about 10% of the time to review. Whatever amount of time it takes to get something clear, that you understand it well, it takes about 10% of the time to do review. So, for example, if it takes an hour to learn something clearly, it takes 6 minutes to do review. If it takes half an hour, it'll take 3 minutes. If it takes 2 hours, it'll take 12 minutes. But on average, you will find it takes about 10% of the time to review something once you got it clear. So let's take the daf. Let's say it takes an hour to get the daf clear. Now, I'm just on average, and I know we have lots of different levels out there, so I'm just going to use an hour as our unit. But if it takes an hour to get the basic pshat of the Gemara clear, then it would take about 6 minutes to do review. And that's saying every word, just laying through the blot, takes about 6 minutes. If it takes 6 minutes to do review, then in 1 hour, we could chazur 10 blot. Or if you don't have an hour to do review, let's say we could commit a half an hour to do review, we could chazur 5 blot. And if you couldn't find half an hour in your schedule, but you only had 15 minutes to do review, to find 15 minutes a day, that would be 2.5 blot of review. But the idea is that once you get something clear, all of a sudden your learning becomes very efficient in review, and you can actually accomplish a lot more than many people think. So in our case, in terms of Maseches Brachas, it would take just over about 6.5 hours to chazur the entire Masechta once it's clear. The mistake that many people make, though, is that they're used to a learning schedule or a cycle, which is you learn to get clear, and once you got it clear, you move on. And then you spend all your time learning something out, and you finally get it all clear, and you move on. And it doesn't matter whether it's, an hour on a daf, or a week on a daf, or 3 months on a daf. Whatever the case is, once whatever level of clarity has been achieved, many people just move on. And they don't look at the fact that they were 1 inch away from the golden ring. That once they got the clarity, wow, now they could take that and own it forever, because now it's so efficient to do review, it's totally manageable. So this is what I'm suggesting. I'm suggesting is that whatever amount of time it takes you to get the daf clear, then take out the clock and review and see how long it takes. And be business-like about this. I mean, I know I'm talking about timing a lot, but you've got to treat your learning like a business, and time is money, and you'll be amazed it's really to your advantage to do this, because you'll realize, hey, if I could do 6 minutes a daf, and again, whatever it takes for you, 10 minutes, 12 minutes, 15 minutes, it's also fantastic. That's 4 daf in an hour. But let's say 6 minutes a daf, that means you also can then review 3 minutes an amud. And this is where it gets very exciting. Because for many people, the idea of pulling out the Gemara and doing review, it's like they're just inching along. But once you got it clear, then 3 minutes, you could chazur the entire amud. And there's lots of times when you have 3 minutes in your day. You're waiting for the bus, you're waiting for your wife to get to the car, you're waiting for a meeting to occur, or you're just have 3 minutes of time. That's an amud. And that's a significant amount of achievement. And that'll reinforce success for you. And realizing that, those stories about those who were able to make a sima shas on in between waiting at the bus stop or at a chasna, it's not so far off. Because look, at 6 minutes a daf, 10 daf an hour, that means all 2,711 dafim would take 271 hours. it's not crazy to think that you could find that amount of time. I mean, that means, all of shots within less than a year, but you could find a lot of time to squeeze in an Amud there and Amud there. Once you get to that type of unit and that amount of time at that rate, you are going to fly. So this is what I suggest. The best time to do Chazorah, when you got it clear, that's the time to grasp the golden ring and anchor it down. Get it down as quickly as possible. If it takes you 10 minutes to do Chazorah on it, then, and you're not 100% fluent, work it then, because it's not that amount. Let's say you chaz it's an hour to do the daf, and let's say it takes you 20 minutes to chaz it the first time. The chaz right away. Chances are at that 20 minutes it'll take 10 minutes. Chaz right away. Chances are it'll take another 6 minutes. That's altogether 36 minutes to get down to 6 minutes, and then you've now added a daf to your schedule that can be carried with you as we go through Daf Yomi. So I'm going to talk more about Chazor schedules and different ways of doing Chazor schedule, and there's a lot of great things out there, but keep in mind the 10% rule is to your advantage. Don't make clarity of the daf your goal so you can then move on, but make clarity your goal so you can master it and get it down to 6 minutes. Again, I know this is not for everybody right now, this time, but it's for a lot of you. So do it, and by all means, send me your questions, give me your feedback, let me know if it works for you. You can always email me at agoldhar@goldhar.com. Have a great day and great learning.